Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So this is my last in the series of the videos I'm doing on Kendall Scudder so far until I meet him again and hear him talk some more stuff. His speech at the Collin County Democratic Party meet and greet about a week ago was absolutely amazing, and this is the final installment of that. I may use some of his stuff in other videos in the future, but this is me kind of giving you guys really a solid breakdown of what he had to say. Uh, this is the one that, because as you guys know, I work all over the country. So, but and as a Democrat, political consultant, even data guy, working in Texas is not generally what you would classify as a good career move because there just isn't the money. Your geography is a nightmare. The logistics are crazy. And the only way to solve geography and logistics is with money. So, with that being said, most of the races here are desperately underfunded. So that's why I'm talking about Evan Hunt in a previous video, because I see these really good candidates in winnable districts, but if they can't get the funds necessary, if they can get up to about $15 to $20 a vote, which is kind of the metric, and I'm going to do a show on that actually, because a couple people ask, like, how do you know how much a campaign is going to cost? Well, there's math on that, and I'd be curious to get your guys' read on that, and we'll do that as a different show. But this one is about how important Texas really is to the nation. If you're a Democrat, a moderate, or a liberal or progressive, if you believe in, civil rights, things of that nature, criminal activity in the White House, any number of things, the economy, that Texas is going to be insanely important. So, I'm going to let Kendall talk about it. So this video will post, and then his will post right after that, tomorrow, which, the 30th, because you're seeing this on the 30th. And so I want you guys to listen to what he has to say, because he's not wrong. The electoral college is a real thing, but let's just get started, shall we? Okay. Why the next 6 years matter? You know, you know, it's this is going to be real, guys. The math is in. Um, so what he's really been proud of is the network. He's actually meeting with all the Democratic chairs nationally right now, like in Little Rock. If not today, yesterday, probably the whole week is basically what he said. He's going to be over there for a few days, so he's probably wrapping up today. And so they're all getting together and they're all looking at him going, you understand how important Texas is. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say when he comes back, because I know it's going to be a lot of really interesting stuff. But networking with all the Democratic chairs, because I'll be honest, Texas is unique. Like Harris County, where Houston is, I know you guys have heard me say this before, but they have more registered voters than most states. Just that county. Texas is like 5 of the top 10 most expensive media markets. Our geography is a nightmare. The gerrymandering is bonkers. We have districts that are hundreds of miles long, that unite cities that are hundreds of miles away. So, because El Paso and San Antonio have communities in common. I mean, they're Texans, but El Paso's in a completely different time zone. Anyway, like I said, there's lots of challenges here in Texas, but that doesn't mean that there aren't good ideas in other states. And it is my hope that Kendall goes there and is able to scry some of those good ideas that we can take from other states, steal them, use them here. That's my goal, and that's what he's doing right now. Real quick, like and subscribe if you wish to support this channel. I have a PayPal at CLSP Politics. So the other thing, he wants to do is network with, and he talks about it in his speech, and I'll let him talk about who he met with. Very cool. Lots of really cool names. leaders in our party, and they were down to help. They're not even. They were, "What do you need? Here it is. What's next?" And that's exactly the attitude that we need if we're going to be successful. So, but it's they have to know that Texas, when you look at the electoral college, when you look at the number of voters, we're a young state. I remember in last year I was talking about the demographics of each state and how old they were and stuff. Texas is a millennial. Yeah, Texas is a millennial state. The average age is around 35, and we are young. We're some 10 years younger than some other states. We're the young little upstart state with the economy that's equivalent to most other countries on the planet. I mean, that's the other thing about Texas is that, oh, look, Texas is doing so great. Republicans are running this state. Republicans run this state like garbage. They pull money out of the ground. This is an unsinkable ship. We're our largest trading partner up until Trump decided to, I don't know, drop a giant bomb in the middle of it. Is Mexico. And when I say that's the largest partner in the country, we trade with Mexico more than any other state. We're huge in manufacturing. We're huge in logistics, distribution, rail, oil, power, wind, solar, you name it. If it's got an electron attached to it, we're 100%. That's why, all of these other elected, Democrats all over the country are looking at Texas going, why is this not a blue state? And the real reason is the Republicans rely on the apathy, and they tell them that don't even bother to vote because you're not going to win anyway. Well, you won't know if you're going to win unless you vote. And that's what the Republicans do in this state. And the other Democrats across the country know that that's their game. So I'm always fighting. Rarely do I fight against the Republicans because honestly, uh, because they only make up 20% of the vote, maybe 22% of the vote. Democrats make up 19% of the vote. The apathy party makes up 60% of the vote. Give me 4% of the apathy party. And those are registered voters who just don't vote. And the secret's out. So what my hope is that these other Democrats. So the other problem with Texas is the Democrats across this country for decades have written Texas off because they didn't need it because the electoral college was fine and they'd be able to swing it. Well, that's not going to be the case in 6 years, and Kendall's going to talk about that. The electoral college after the demographic change is going to be very different. And for decades, they used Texas as a ATM. They would come in, grab their checks, and bounce. And that's like Democratic money that could have gone to congressional races and state house races. Texas, after California, Texas was the largest donor to Democratic races outside of its own state. So I already kind of hinted 2030 will change the electoral map in favor of the GOP. Without Texas or one of the Carolinas, sorry, game over. There is no path to the presidency. We could lose by 1 million votes. The Democrats could lose by 1 million votes of the popular vote easily and still not win the presidency. Millions of votes, actually. This is not democracy at that point. I think the electoral college should be burned at the stake like a witch because the Republicans have been using it as a way for a minority to stay in power. I mean, look at you guys can check this out yourselves. Go look at what just on the state senate, the US senators, right? They have 53 of them. Look at how many actual people live in the states that those 53 senators represent. What? You think those 2 senators in Montana are equal to the 2 per vote are equal to the 2 senators in California? No, the voter in As far as the US Senate goes, the voter in Montana's vote's worth 1,200 times what the vote in one voter in California is worth. Yeah. So honestly, if it weren't for Texas and the two senators, both of which are a nightmare, but we've got Ted Cruz. So, um, funny story about Ted Cruz. A good friend of mine got stuck in a green room with that guy back in 2012. Walked out and went, that guy's absolutely out of his mind. If he wins, we could be in some real trouble. Well, my friend called that one. Anyway, so yeah, the electoral college is rough, guys. We will be the majority of the voters in this country, and we will not be picking the president if we don't get Texas figured out. So that's just reality. That's called the math. You know about me, I'm all about the math. So if we can't get this party together, get everyone banging their drums, getting the votes, knocking on the doors, getting money. We cannot volunteer our way out of this problem. We need real, big, huge money. I have a video, and it'll be in the same playlist as the one this will end up in, All Things Texas. And I talk about what a real statewide campaign looks like in this state. It's 19 counties, 4 million doors knocked. Oh, and huge media buys. We're talking $500 million to run Texas. That's just reality. So it's 19 counties, guys. Florida's 8. And and California's quite a few, but it's not 19. I think it's like 12 that you really have to play in. But it's not 19. It's definitely not 19 spread out over the distance of a third of the United States. Because if you look at DFW and you look at El Paso and you got to play in both of those, that's logistics, guys. That's money. It costs money to do that. And people are starting to wake up. I've been making this drum since I started my channel. And yeah, it's a real thing. So that's my rant. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I like to keep my videos under 13 minutes. So like and subscribe if you wish to support the work of this channel. We're at CLSB Politics on PayPal. All right. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye.